maybe turn on some more lights in your house.
David Cronenberg. What happens next?
Welcome to Macabre. I'm Mackenzie.
And I'm Aubrey.
And today we watched Ready or Not, Here I Come, Undertone, and Forbidden Fruits. Okay, first with Ready or Not, Here I Come. This one didn't work for me so much. I liked like the cinematography, but the characters and the story I just wasn't on board with as much.
Yeah, see, I really liked the first one. I thought it was really fun, and I thought this one did have its like fun like elements, I guess, but it just didn't work as well as the first one.
Yeah, because like for me, I didn't really like the characters in this one that much. And
yeah,
I felt like they really wanted you to care about the emotional conceit of the sisters, but I just didn't really care.
Yeah.
And they're acting like we had this big past emotional bond with these characters that would make us care about their backstory, and I just wasn't really feeling that.
Yeah, when we literally like just learned about, well, I don't know if like she mentioned the sister in the first one, I don't know, but like it was just
it was like a secret. She like kept it a secret.
Yeah.
And then it was like, oh, she has a sister.
Yeah. I know it was like for the fans because there wasn't really like much of a reason for this sequel.
I know, that's kind of what I think. Yeah, so what I kind of thought is I felt like this movie lost some of the charm that the first one had, because the first one I felt like it had like, I liked the gothic vibes, I felt it had gothic charm, but this one, it really didn't have that until like later in the movie.
It just didn't really stick with me in the same way.
The movie didn't in general?
Yeah, just in general.
Yeah.
I do like Elijah Wood.
Oh yeah, Elijah Wood was good in it. He was funny.
He was silly.
No, so this one, I kind of felt like since it was a different type of setting, it lost a lot of what the first one had by being set in like that mansion. I felt like it was kind of just an amalgamation of different already existing movies. Like the beginning, I thought it really reminded me of John Wick.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And then then it started just reminding me of like the Hunger Games.
No, that's fair.
So I was just kind of not really, I don't know, I just didn't really like it that much because it just felt kind of weightless and kind of like you said, like it didn't really need to exist.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just thought that the horror elements were just very light, and I wish that it had, since it didn't have that gothic aspect really that much, and it was more of like a Hunger Games type hunt horror movie, like I feel like that kind of movie can work, but it needs to be more grimy than what this one was, more kind of gross. And this also didn't have...
Really? I thought that it did have a lot of like gross parts.
Well, okay, I won't say it had a lot.
Okay.
I think it had like, I think it needed a little more, just a little more gore.
Okay.
In my opinion, just to make it more just like a grimy, you're being hunted kind of movie.
Did you have fun watching it though? I feel like I still had fun. I still had fun watching it.
I think that just because of like, I kept thinking I wanted the movie to prove itself to me, and it just felt so inconsequential that it was hard for me to enjoy it.
Okay.
I think also like I wish it had some like camp aspects, and some parts of it were funny, some jokes were funny, like the like I think in the first one there's like some jokes that are funny, but I think this is a problem with the first one and with this one, that not all of the jokes land. Some of them kind of really just did fall flat for me.
Yeah.
What did you think?
Yeah, no, I agree. I found myself laughing a lot sometimes because I was like, that's really stupid, but sometimes it actually was funny. I don't know.
I think sometimes it was being like knowingly kind of dumb,
yeah.
on purpose. And like I said, like I didn't think every joke was bad. Like I thought some jokes were good. I did laugh a few times, but it was just like not as high of a success rate as I would have wanted.
Yeah.
I didn't think it had that many like interesting artistic elements in it, and I get that like sometimes the movie is just a straightforward horror movie and it's not going to be like trying to be like interesting in the filmmaking, but I would want it to be a more engaging, exciting horror movie if it's not going to have that artistic flair, and I just really wasn't feeling either of those things with this one. And then the other thing is I didn't really like the characters that much, except for Sarah Michelle Gellar's character and Sean Hatosi's character. I thought they were pretty good but I don't know if that's just because I really like them from TV.
Yeah.
Because I really like Sarah Michelle Gellar in Buffy, and Sean Hatosi, he's on The Pit that I'm watching right now.
Okay.
Sean Hatosi's character, do you know who I'm talking about?
No.
Okay. so Sarah Michelle Gellar and Sean Hatosi, they're the brother and sister.
Okay,
characters.
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, so his character I didn't like so much, but I did really like Sarah Michelle Gellar's
I liked her character. Yeah.
I thought she was really good. I think maybe I have some bias there because I like their characters on TV, but at the same time, I just think that they're good actors and they did a good job, so I liked them.
Yeah.
But the rest of the side characters, and even honestly, the main characters, the sisters, I didn't really care for them too much.
Samara
Weaving. And Kathryn Newton.
Yeah. Scream Queen.
But you did say you liked Elijah Wood.
Yeah. I thought he was funny. Yeah.
Oh, and then also Sarah Michelle Gellar, she's in I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Oh, yeah.
And then she had like a really interesting cameo in even the I Know What You Did Last Summer remake. Yeah, and then also David Cronenberg, he had a cameo at the beginning. And David Cronenberg, do you know who David Cronenberg is?
Yeah, he's the dad.
But do you know who he is in like life?
No.
So he is a horror movie director.
Okay.
So he directed The Fly.
I think I did Google him, but I can't remember.
Yeah. Yeah, so he did like The Fly, Videodrome, Dead Ringers, but you should definitely watch The Fly. Okay. The Fly is really good.
Noted.
So I thought of the movie The Bride that I saw recently, not just because they're both brides in the movies, but because The Bride, I didn't like that movie, but I could tell at least that it was trying to take some artistic swings. And this movie, I really felt just played it extremely safe and just made it not very interesting. So yeah, those are kind of my overall thoughts on Ready or Not, Here I Come. Do you have any closing thoughts on that one?
No.
Okay, so next is Undertone, and this one is about a podcaster.
Welcome to the Undertone podcast, where we talk about all things creepy.
She's living with her mother who's sick and just out in an isolated area in this house just in the middle of nowhere. The thing about this movie is the sound design, I think, is really good, and since like the movie's whole thing is sound, if the sound design wasn't good, I feel like that would be embarrassing.
Yeah.
But this movie I felt had I really liked the filmmaking of it. What did you think?
Yeah, I think the sound was a big part of what made it scary. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, I was shaking in my boots.
But yeah, this movie, I think it uses the limited setting really well because it's just confined in that house. I think it utilizes the characters well too. There's some characters that you see, but like some that you only hear. And I thought that made the movie kind of interesting and I guess unique in that aspect. And yeah, the filmmaking to me, that I think was definitely one of my favorite parts of it. Like the shot compositions. You had mentioned that there are shots of her like in the corner of the frame
Yeah. It was hard for me to focus on her because I was just looking at the dark space trying to find things in it.
Yeah. And like that really did make it scary because sometimes, a couple of times, it'd be like, oh, there definitely was something there.
Yeah.
But then once there is something there one time, then you're always checking to see, and your brain is kind of tricking you. I would just see like kind of like noise in the corner and be like, is that actually there, or am I just seeing that? I don't know. But yeah, I thought this movie utilized like the shot compositions super well, and I liked how sometimes they would use close-ups, and I think my favorite shots were shots that panned across rooms. They used those a couple of times, and I really liked those. And I liked the lighting too.
Yeah, I was gonna say the lighting.
Yeah. At a certain point, it is like, hey, girl, maybe turn on some more lights in your house. But whatever, but like, so it is utilizing a lot of like not very much lighting, but sometimes it kind of gets a little artistic with it, with some colored lighting, like occasionally. So that's something that I liked about it. Something that it does is it makes you really pay attention to the sounds, and that's just a super big part of the movie, like breathing, you know, like a kettle whistling, a clock ticking.
Yeah. When she, I like when she like takes off the headphones, or like puts them, you know, whenever the sound changes with that.
Yeah, a lot of the time, especially at the beginning, I felt like the movie was very still, but as it keeps going, there's so much tension and suspense that I thought I was really enjoying that aspect of the movie.
I did like the suspense. I thought that's what like made it really good. I'm just not really sure if the buildup was worth it.
But yeah, with the tension of the movie, like there were some scenes that actually gave me chills. Did that happen?
I didn't get like physical chills, but okay. I was like, I felt like I like couldn't breathe.
And something with this movie is it does have some kind of familiar subject matter that I think like just in society has been explored a lot. It's talking about kind of dark origins of nursery rhymes, and that's something that, you know, people talk about a lot, like Grimm's fairy tales. They're like
Ring Around the Rosie.
Yeah. So that, I mean, isn't the most interesting as a conceit to be talking about so much, but I think that the movie had enough other good things going for it with the atmosphere that didn't really bother me.
Yeah.
No, because I've definitely seen it before, being like, what if nursery rhymes were evil, like the kids in the horror movie trailer are singing Ring Around the Rosie, and it's scary.
Yeah.
But I think I can forgive it for that, because genuinely, like, sometimes throughout the movie, whenever it was utilizing that, it actually was frightening. Mm-hmm. How they were able to pair the scary sound aspect with that conceit.
Yeah. I also liked the themes of like religious guilt.
Oh yeah, because there was like all of the religious stuff all around the house. I wasn't really thinking about that so much.
And like her talking about how like she never like prays anymore, or like her mom would always like pray to her and stuff.
Yeah. No, I think for me, some other things that we'll talk about in the spoiler section kind of overtook that aspect for me, so I was more thinking about those other things rather than that. But But yeah, I felt like sometimes I couldn't take it completely seriously all of the time. Yeah. But I did really like the tension build up.
Yeah, me too. I thought sometimes I was like, okay, where are we? Like, this is getting a little ridiculous, but it was still scary. Like, it was still affecting me. Yeah, I don't know.
And then I just want to say, like, a couple of movies that it reminded me of. It reminded me of Skinamarink, because in Skinamarink they're playing those old cartoons in the background, those old royalty-free cartoons, and utilizing those, but also like a lot of other stuff in Skinamarink to make that movie scary. So it reminded me of that, and then it also reminded me of Oddity, because that's also a movie that's in an isolated setting with limited characters, and it's really trying to ratchet up that tension. Yeah, I would say that like the aspects of Oddity that I liked, I also liked in Undertone, but I think Oddity is maybe a little bit better done. I think it just has maybe a little more skill behind it, but that's not to say that Undertone isn't good, because I did really like it, and I felt like it was pretty well done in the stylistic elements, the filmmaking aspects of it, and then just being scary.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is like the spoiler section, because I just wanted to quickly talk about a couple of spoilery things with this movie.
There was a scene with a mirror, like she opens and closes a mirror, and you're like, oh my gosh, like is there gonna be something there? Yeah.
That is to set up a classic jump scare, because usually in horror movies, people open the bathroom mirror and they close it and something's behind them. So they're trying to trick you with that.
Yeah.
The thing that I was alluding to earlier with not really thinking about the religious guilt was because it started just being all about babies being evil.
Yeah.
Or like, maybe not babies being evil necessarily, but babies being scary.
Yeah, like the whole, I feel like horror does that a lot with like scary children being a big part of it.
Yeah, I think this one was really leaning into the like being scared of like pressure of motherhood, and I thought that was, I liked that aspect. I think that was pretty interesting, because it was a scary baby movie without showing the babies.
Yes, you heard them cry, but you didn't see them.
And so a thought that was in my head while watching it was, this is Eraserhead for women, but you've never seen Eraserhead. So Eraserhead is like about fatherhood being really scary. And I also thought like, oh, she's really having some artistic expression.
Oh my gosh, that was crazy. Her drawings.
The drawing that I liked the best was, there were like a ton of these drawings on her walls, but the one that I liked the best was the upside down baby with the X through it. So yeah, she was having some artistic expression.
Yeah. About
motherhood being scary.
It's true.
And then one other thing I wanted to actually ask you, they talked about sleep paralysis in this movie a little bit, and I was curious, have you ever experienced sleep paralysis?
I haven't, but I've heard one of my friends has before, and it's really scary.
No, I've had sleep paralysis like 2 times. And so I was just like, whenever they talked about it in the movie, I was like, okay, relatable. So I was really enjoying the ending of this movie. I did think it was building up to be paying off, but in my opinion, I didn't like whenever it just cut to black and then we only hear what's going on, because film is a visual medium, and I get that the movie is about audio, but really, I really wanted to see kind of the ending of what was happening, and then we cut to black, just at a later point in the events of the ending. Like I said, this is the very ending, but
yeah,
everything leading up to that moment I was really enjoying, but I just felt like they didn't completely stick the landing just because of that cut to black, in my opinion. What did you think?
Yeah, I was kind of just like, when it ended, I was, oh, that's it? Like, what happened? What happens next?
But I felt like everything was ratcheting up really well, and I was really enjoying it. But once it ended, I just kind of felt like I couldn't completely love the movie because of that ending, even though like so much of the artistic elements and the vibes and the feeling of it I was appreciating. But Undertone, I would say I recommend it if you're fine with like smaller horror movies that are limited in their setting and their resources. Don't expect too much from it because this is kind of a smaller movie, and I think that they really used their resources well with what they had to make a good product artistically. Okay, lastly is Forbidden Fruits, and this is about a witch cult in a mall, and it stars Lili Reinhart, Alexandra Shipp, Lola Tung, and Victoria Pedretti. With this one, I felt like it had some really interesting filmmaking, like with establishing shots, it would do like slowly zoom in or slowly zoom out. And sometimes it used an ominous score along with these shots. And I felt like it did create an interesting vibe.
Yeah.
But I felt like the movie was more vibes than plot.
Yeah, no, I agree. I feel like it was also just trying to be a bunch of things at once, and nothing really happened because of it. I don't know.
Because I agree with that, because like something I noticed is it kept bringing in a bunch of different pop culture references, and it's just trying to mesh a lot of stuff together that maybe doesn't necessarily result in a good end product.
No, okay, I was excited for this movie, especially because of the cast, and I thought, like, I really wanted to like it because it just seemed like a fun time, and I did have fun watching it, but I just was slightly disappointed.
Yeah, so to me, the plot, it just felt really light and kind of staying in the same place for a long time, and the events of the movie just didn't really feel consequential. But I did think that the performances were really good. Like, it had a lot of funny lines and funny line deliveries, especially by Lili Reinhart.
Yeah, she was really good in that. I thought Victoria Pedretti's performance was really good.
She was really good.
Yeah.
And I also really liked Emma Chamberlain's part. I thought she was great too. Everyone really did give a great performance, and just like some lines of dialogue, they would just hit you out of nowhere, and they would just be funny. So I thought that those parts were well written, but just the plot wasn't that well written or executed. So it has those funny dialogue lines, it has those really good performances, but in service of what? Like, what is the point?
Yeah.
And so that's why, like, ultimately, I didn't really feel satisfied with this movie. I do get that it's like trying to portray a certain kind of female friendship or kind of make a statement about female friendships and portray that through the film, but I really feel like it could have been executed better. I think a lot of people are going to, and already are, comparing this to other movies. I was trying not to think of other movies, but they literally name drop Mean Girls.
Yeah.
And I was kind of also thinking about Jawbreaker, Heathers a little bit. So it's okay to make a movie inspired by those things, but I think that this maybe needed another go through on the script and maybe have a little bit more of a stronger drive behind it to really execute and say what they wanted to say more effectively with more impact. And something that was kind of annoying me about the film is that it would like set up violence or hint to violence and would not always follow through. But sometimes whenever it did follow through, those to me were the best parts of the movie.
Some of the best scenes, yeah.
But I still can't fully recommend the movie to everyone just based off of those scenes because of the rest of the movie. I'm not sure if just those parts raise the movie up to be like, this is a 100% recommend.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I mean, I had a fun time with it. I think it's something that I would put on for like a fun movie night where you don't really have to fully like pay attention to everything and you're just kind of having fun with it.
No, that makes sense. It does give that kind of vibe. One other thing that was kind of a downside for me was by the end, some of the characters were annoying me a little bit, to be honest. I don't know if you felt that. I think it was just that the plot, just the fact of how we said the plot wasn't really strong enough to carry them through the whole movie, so I think that had something to do with the characters starting to annoy me a little bit. But with that said, I think that it did have some interesting filmmaking, some interesting atmosphere, really good performances. I think that their performances were better than the direction. Really good line deliveries and funny one-liners that were written for the movie. Yeah. But just overall, something is missing in the direction and in the overall story and execution of the movie. So good filmmaking, atmosphere, performances and comedy, and some standout scenes, but overall, just not a great movie.
I do like witches, though.
But it's really not my fault because I Googled it and Mercury was in retrograde. So there you go.
All right, well, thanks for watching. Give the video a like and subscribe for more, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.